We're about to go in to join the Economics Watch webcast that's about to start at 3 p.m. Guys, this is Gad Levanon.
Hey, John.
Brian Schaitkin. Tell us what the topic is today.
Well, we always have in our Economics Watch, we have the first half, we talk about the general U.S. outlook, and in the second half we're going to talk about the digitalization KBI that we're about to launch next week.
Yeah, so the key thing about the digital KBI is that it really provides an opportunity to answer a mystery that's going to come up during this webcast, which is why is productivity so low, productivity growth so low, even though you have this massive stream of life-changing innovation connected to digital technology. And I think what this report really does well is to show how in the past innovative technology has taken a while to be fully adopted, to be fully used by businesses, by consumers in a way that enhances growth.
Hey, Carmine.
And that's what is going to ultimately lead, once these technologies sort of go from an implementation phase to a transformation phase where they're more widely adopted, more widely used, that's where you get the big pickup in growth. And I think that's the central issue that this KBI deals with and that we're going to want to address today in the webcast.
So we think that pickup period is still ahead?
Yeah, because, I mean, when you look at, for example, offices using gig economy type platforms to augment their labor force, I mean, that's very much at its infancy. Other than Uber, you haven't had a huge impact in terms of gig economy adoption by businesses. So you're definitely very much at the infancy of what businesses can do with big data analytics, what they can do with different types of business reorganization. So that's all very much at the beginning phase. And so I think going forward, there's a greater opportunity for productivity growth to be realized through digital innovation.
I know there's also one of the chapters in this KBI is about whether labor shortages in digital occupations are going to become a constraint, and what we find is that there's actually a lot of variation. So to our surprise, many of the computer-related occupations are actually not ranked very high in terms of potential labor shortages, partly because a big driver of the labor shortages is the retirement of the baby boomers, and there aren't that many baby boomers to begin with in computer occupations. So that's one reason. Another reason, computer occupations are among the most flexible in the economy. So even if there are shortages in some of those occupations, employers of computer occupations can offshore positions, they can find workers in remote locations, they can tap into the large new immigrant population. There's also no barriers like legal licensing or certification that becomes a constraint in many other occupations. In computers, you don't see that at all. So perhaps somewhat surprisingly, our findings suggest that we shouldn't worry as much about computer-related jobs.
So are there surprising occupations on the other side that we should be worried about that we may not?
Well, not so much surprising, but mathematical-related jobs are ranked very high. So statisticians, economic data, all the data scientist types of jobs, they're just expected to grow so rapidly, and they are very high skilled that it would be difficult to create all that labor that is needed for those occupations.
But to be clear, it's not the fact that computer jobs, jobs which the primary function is working and maintaining computer networks are going down, doesn't mean that these digital skills are somehow becoming less important for the workplace of the future. Businesses are going to need workers who understand how to analyze data, understand how to maximize their productivity through the use of information technology. So all of those skills are going to be important. They're just going to be facets of a growing number of occupations. So you won't necessarily have shortages in computer-specific occupations, but you will have a continued demand for those types of digital skills.
So Bart is on his way, but if he does not arrive, you will moderate.
I'm going to be the moderator. You're also going to film the actual webcast?
First couple of minutes.
Okay, very good. We're live now, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
We have fun here at the conference while delivering serious economic news.
Actually, there's very little chance that my mother is actually watching.
Considering it's 2 in the morning right now?
How much?
Am I right about the time difference?
7 hours.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, it's 10.
So she could theoretically be awake.
Yeah.
So what about the just the economic update section of the webcast?
So we, the situation in the U.S. economy is not great at the moment, but so on the one hand, we have relatively weak real economic numbers coming in. The first quarter GDP, for example, grew by just 0.5%. On the other hand, it seems like the fear of global recession are receding, both the financial markets, oil prices are moving up, the dollar is weakening. So a lot of the indicators that show a real global fear are receding, and I think that reduces, the fear that we are moving into an imminent recession. But we expect kind of moderate 2% growth in the coming several quarters.
There's been a trend over the last few years that the first quarter, ever since the Great Recession, has been weaker than the other quarters during the year. It seems like there's a continued flaw in the way that the Bureau of Economic Analysis is seasonally adjusting GDP data to account for that. So we expected weaker first quarter growth performance. The fact that job growth slowed down this past month is a little bit concerning, but on the other hand, isn't that surprising? You have rising wages, you have an unemployment rate which is now at 5%, which is very low compared with it's at its lowest point since before the recession. So all of those factors mean that the labor market is tight. Producers aren't really seeing that much of an upside. So as a result, you're having relatively low investment.
Okay, we're starting the webcast in a minute. So Carmen, you're gonna sit Bart in when he comes? He's sitting, so he's at the edge, so if you don't use camera 1, yeah, so I'll speak. So you can avoid using camera 3 when Bart walks in. Okay.
Paula. There's Bart.
If you're not completely.
You start, and then I will do the roll out. Okay. So I'll do the global outlook, and then the two of you do the U.S. economy.
No, he's still being hooked. If you want to wait a minute, he'll be hooked up. If not,
Seconds.
you can start with me, and depending on, he's like
You can,
20.
if you want to start, it's okay too.
Okay, he's gonna hold and count to you. So you. Okay.
I can hear you now, Carmine. No, can you go to Gad? Is that okay, or is that too late?
She left.
Please, yeah, start with Gad. I'm ready to go, and I need to put my paperwork in front of me. Thank you.
Good afternoon and welcome to our May edition of Economics Watch. My name is Gad Levanon and I'm the Chief Economist North America. It's a relatively new title I have to get used to. And so welcome to our webcast. Together with me today, almost as usual, on my left, the Chief Economist Bart van Ark. Hi Bart.
Hi.
And on my right, Senior Economist Brian Schaitkin. Hi Brian.
Thank you, Gad.
So before we get to the material, as usual, some webcast tips that will help you in your viewing experience. So first of all, if you have any questions during the presentation, no need to wait to the end. We can